We're looking at Mark Kistler's book, You Can Draw in 30 Days. And we just finished drawing our own cube. I wanted to point out this picture here that shows us directions. If you know, the compass says north, east, south, and west. Here in Kistler's book, we are given northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. So those diagonal directions are going to be where we think about when we do our sketch of our cube. We've got directional lines going northeast, going southeast, going southwest, going northwest. So think about those directions as we complete the next challenge. All right, Falcons, we're on to lesson 5, which is the hollow cube. Hollow like open, cube like a box. So it'll be an open box, a cardboard box maybe with an open flap. Don't forget to write the date in the corner, so you can always keep a record of your learning. And let's begin just like we did with our previous lesson on the cube. We put 2 dots on the left and right and 1 above and below. So a dot on the left, a dot on the right, finger in between to keep the 2 other dots close together. I'm sure some people put their dots farther apart than I recommended, and then they got a weird looking cube. I bet some people made their side lines longer than their middle line, and then they connected them and said, Mr. McAllister, my cube does not look like a cube. Well, that is not our goal right there. We need these middle dots close together and these side dots far apart. And then we're going to use our directions. We're going to go northeast to connect those dots, and northeast here to connect these. And then we're going to go north and west to connect these. Or maybe if I'm going from here to here, that is southeast. But anyway, it's a diagonal line. Once we've got that in place, it's time to draw our middle line, and middle line only. We're going to go vertical from the edge of the paper down to about there. And again, our side lines need to be shorter than our middle line. And our side lines, because they're shorter, they're also going to be higher up on the page. Instead of ending here, our side lines ought to end maybe here. So I'll draw my side line here and try to keep it as vertically as possible. Now we're going to go again to the northeast. I'm referring to this line. And I'm referring to this line when I draw my bottom line, bottom edge there. Now we've got the cube. That happened fast this time, but we're not done yet. Now it's time to think about adding flaps to our hollow cube. The back flap here is going to stand up in the air. So I'm going to make 2 short diagonal lines coming off of the corner, about the same length. And I'm going to refer to this line and say, well, my next line needs also to be diagonal. And now I have a flap. Back here, oops, I put that in the wrong spot. Back here, we'll also have a flap, so I'm going to do another diagonal line, this time facing away from the box. And if they're the same length, I'll connect them with a line that refers to this northeast direction. I think it's time for some bottom flaps now. These bottom flaps on these two sides closer to us will point toward the ground. So this time my angle is going to be short, but it's going to be pointing toward the ground. And I've made one line there and one here. Now I take this directional line and I refer to it, and I add one more flap on this edge of the box pointing down toward the ground. Take note of how this angle is pointing away from the box and toward the ground. Now I can refer to this angle and draw my last flap. We're almost done with the lines before the shading comes in, but there's one very important line on this type of drawing. That is the inside of the box corner. There's a little peekaboo line right here that we must add in. Short as it seems, it's very important. Now it appears like we can look inside the box and see that corner on the inside. Some special things happen when we add value to our cube when it's got flaps. We now have some nook and cranny shadows to add in underneath the flaps. Of course, we know that if our light is on the right, then our shadow is on the left. I might add a little more of a nook and cranny shadow under this flap here. Now inside the box, there's kind of a dark side. Since the light is here, it's hitting this side of my box, and this side is in the dark. And it's especially good to get nice dark values on the low part of that side of the inside of the box there. And you can shade this side as well because it's pretty dark inside the box. And we know we have a dark side to our cube, just like here we had a dark side to our cube. So I'm going to add some value, making this even but dark gray. And we're going to make this side even but a medium gray. I'm not pressing quite so hard. I think that's just about enough shading for this project. If you wanted to, you could add some details on the inside of the box. Make it into a gift or have some puppies sticking out of the top. The rest is up to you. That has been lesson number 5, the hollow cube.